Good morning and evening everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you have had a good Christmas and New Year. Obviously yesterday I did a video, and today we are going to be revisiting an old topic that I covered on the channel, which was quite big. The Logistics Union, or the L.O.G.I Union as it was commonly called in news outlets. And seeing how it's been so long since the big 1.0 update overhauled the overall logistics system, amongst many other things, I wanted to kind of take a little look at what the Union is doing now. Is the Union still around? And luckily the answer is yes, I'm in their Discord still, and it does seem to still be around. Second, what is the Union currently doing? Third, what is the current overall feeling about the changes to the logistics system? And finally, do they believe that the changes in the Inferno update have made a significant improvement to the overall experience of the typical Logi map? Now, the L.O.G.I Union was formed on the back of unrest and unhappiness of a large majority of the backbone of logistics players, and both clan Logi men and solo Logi players came together and were being hit hard by burnout. All in all, the Logistics Organisation for General Improvements have written an open letter sent to the developers and published onto the Foxhole Reddit. In all, the Logistics Organisation has laid out 11 key issues, with a wide range of other issues they class as being less important. The 11 issues are of critical importance, affecting not only the experience of logistics players itself, but also the time taken for supplies to reach the front line. It got to the point where it was severely hampering for frontline troops due to the lack of people willing to do supply runs and do basic material gathering for supplies. If you are looking for the in-depth dive, go check out the pop out in the top corner and have a little look at the videos. A lot of changes have been made to the logistics systems since the formation of the L.O.G.I Union. And after joining, I was greeted with a lot of channels, and unfortunately not a huge amount of recent activity. After having a quick chat with one of the admins, he mentioned that a lot of people burned out pre and post 1.0 update, signaling an end to the Logi migraine, to an extent. Now, whilst many older players, such as myself, have become exhausted and burned out due to the logistics system pre 1.0, and I have done some logistics in a live stream, it has fallen on new players to pick up the slack, thus creating an endless cycle of players burning out. After the big spike in players shortly after, and following on from the big update, it seems like the burnout had really set in for a lot of veterans of the game, for the big 100 war, which is currently playing, so there has been a huge uptick in players ready for that. Thirdly, the question I was most curious about was the thoughts and the feelings of the players and the overall implementation of the facilities into the game. However, due to the lack of players actively engaging in the L.O.G.I Union, as well as the L.O.G.I Union silence, with the last official L.O.G.I Union statement being released on the 9th of October, which was specifically aimed and targeted at addressing the issue of trains crossing the border. Now, and for the fourth question, was honestly the long-awaited train update. Some of the issues have been compounded by this, requiring more resources to maintain the vast logistics tracks, which require more people to contribute to the system to make it work. To an extent, it has compounded issues of logistics failing to be properly addressed, and further being ignored as a priority for updates. All in all, the future and the existence of Logi is certainly going to be interesting to see. Many of the brains behind initial development of the Union are still around and working in the Discord, however they just don't seem to be playing Foxhole anymore. And really, I don't blame them at all. I've been trying to get myself back into Foxhole, and it's like the spark has gone out. It's been much more complicated than it used to be if I were to play solo, and I don't have the time to dedicate to play with a proper clan. I had hoped this video would be a lot longer and that the Union was still as active as it is before I took a break from Foxhole, as I'd had many plans I wanted to implement and people I'd hoped to speak to. Maybe in the future we shall see about having a few interviews with various players on topics of importance to Foxhole and its future for development and its life cycle as a title in whole. Thank you all so much for watching. I know there was a lot more questions than there were answers. Unfortunately, it just seems like the Logistics Union isn't around as much as it was way back when it was first founded. So thank you all for watching. If you have stayed till this point, leave me down a comment in the description below. Let me know your thoughts on the Logi Union. Did you feel that the Logi Union achieved the goals it set out to? And do you feel, most importantly, that the update has addressed some of the conditions that you guys especially have had? Stay tuned, stick around. If you did enjoy the content, like and subscribe, and I shall see you all in the next video. Adios.